Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to the Shake Up with Dr. Kit. It's so good to be here with you. So glad that you all are out there just listening, watching in. This is the night before the day. Tomorrow is the big day, the 4th. And I just want to start out by saying, listen, just be careful. Okay. Be very, very careful. This is not the time for a joyous occasion to turn into something that is sad. So I'm just taking the time to let you know that it's important that you just be very vigilant. You just got to watch out, be careful where you go, how you go, and even why you go. Okay, so just be very careful. All right. Listen, with that said, I want to welcome you to the Shake Up again with Dr. Kit. This is where we make things happen. It's like I like to get something, just shake it up like this, get all the good stuff off the bottom, and then there we go. Get it all mixed up and messed up so that you can get all the good stuff. Because a relationship that just kind of just sits sedentary, you know, it's likely to just atrophy and just turn sour. And then, to refuel that thing takes a whole lot of work. So you don't want to let it get there. So this is why we do the shake up, to keep things moving. All right. Okay. So here we go. Listen, I just want to say with this show, because we deal with a whole lot of stuff, a lot of different emotional issues, a lot of different social issues, all of which has to do with relationships. It's all about creating and dealing with the quality of good relationships. Relationship is not whether you have it or you don't. We all have it. The question is, what's the quality of your relationship? Okay. So just kind of hang in there with me this evening. Listen, if you like the show, like you have done in the past, you're part of the family now, part of the system. Just like it, follow, share, and subscribe. Just like it. Do what you got to do. And follow, because you miss some stuff if you don't follow. Okay, and subscribe to it so that we can be a viable option for the kind of information that you need to hear and participate in. Okay. I don't just want you to just stay out there and just like it, follow, share, and subscribe. I want you to do something else. Now, what do you think I'm going to tell you? I'm going to suggest to you, I'm going to tell you that what I would like for you to do is to be considered as a guest on a future show. We've had several guests on future shows. We have guests on, also coming up on future shows. I mean, guests on the past shows, excuse me, and guests coming up on future shows. And we'd like you to be a part of that. Just come on in and just share whatever it is that's on your heart. Nothing is wrong. Nothing isn't right. It's just the way it is. Your experience is your experience, okay? So this is what you want to do. So just check with my team. Email my team at drkitspeaks@gmail.com. And they will get you on the program. Now, let me tell you this. You don't have to be on camera. If you want to be off camera, we'll take you just as you are, either on camera or off camera, and you decide what you want to talk about. We will accommodate that. This is not scripted. This is your life story or whatever it is about your life that you like to talk about, okay? So if you'd like to be on it, or if you know somebody who might benefit from being on the show, please tell them to call and check with my team. Email drkitspeaks@gmail.com. Well, we've been having quite a success on this show, and every now and then I like to stop and answer some questions that I did not get an opportunity to answer. Now, these are some real live questions that we're going to tackle this evening. But before we get into that, listen, I don't want you to kick off and just jump off because you think, well, it's just questions. Because I got something special for you. I got something that I really need to talk to you about, but you got to stay with it. Got to stay with it, okay? You got to stay with the show because you'll get to know this by the end and at the end of the show. So my first question is coming up right now, and we are going to jump right in and deal with it. This was from Tiffany W. Okay, Tiffany says, I'm being abused by my husband who is active in the church. I've been advised by individuals that I should stay, I guess that's stay in the marriage, and that it would be a sin to leave. What do I think? Well, now I'm being abused by my husband. Now, who is active in the church? Well, the first thing I want to say here is this, that a man active in the church should not be abusing his wife. I believe it's Ephesians chapter 5. It said, husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself for the church. So he's really got, should not be abusing you. Okay. And it's kind of a funny that he would agree to take care of you and then turn around and abuse you. And a lot of times what they say is here, they think they want to let you believe, or he might want to let you believe that it's something about you that you did that's making him abuse you. And I'm going to tell you this, that if he is, and you're saying he is abusing you, it is not because of what you did. And that's going to sound crazy. I'm going to tell you what it is. It's because of something about him, okay, that when he recognized something about you that he does not like, or he wants you to change, that's when he might get into his abusive stage, his abusive mode, and then he wants to blame you for that. Well, the truth is this, okay, you're not so powerful, and I said this before, you're not so powerful that whatever you do that he didn't want you to do, whatever you said he didn't want you to say, whatever you should have said or should have done that didn't happen, he has to take full responsibility for the way he is impacted by your behavior. Now, I'm not even going to get into, that you might have some causal factor. I'm going to leave it right down the line and say, listen, if he's abusing you like that, it's his responsibility to check with himself, to ask himself the question, what is it about me that when my wife is behaving in this way that I don't like, or is not doing what I want to do, that I feel that I have the right to chastise her and abuse her? That is not it. The issue here is that you might provide the ingredient. See, when my wife is cooking, she lays all the ingredient out on the table and she put it all together. I'm going to tell you this though, but the ingredients by themselves will not bake a cake. Somebody has to say, this is what I want. So therefore, your behavior becomes the ingredient that leads him to decide that he needs to behave this way. So he must take responsibility for the way he allows the ingredient to impact him, and the way he wants to use the ingredient, which is like I said, would be your behavior or the lack thereof. So he's got to take full responsibility for that. Now let's go to the church part. Go to the church. The church is going to say, listen, some individuals may say, listen, stay in it because it's a sin if you leave. Well, listen, the individuals that are telling you to stay in it, all right, they are not the ones who are being abused. And if they have been abused or are being abused, they can't feel what you feel. So for them to say, well, stay in it because it's a sin, and I want to know where in the Bible it is a sin for you to go and do what? Protect yourself from an abusing spouse who has no business abusing you. So therefore, you need to take care of yourself. While the Bible speaks about divorce, and it talks about infidelity and stuff, but it also means too that you should not allow yourself to be a beating pad, for somebody who is going to put your life at risk, especially if you have children. You need to be there for your children. All right. So if you have to leave in order for you to be safe and to stay well, so you don't become a victim of somebody's injustices, then what you do is you leave. You notice we're not talking about divorce here. We're talking about your safety. And your safety is so important. He was tasked in the marriage to keep you safe. But this abuse had broken that agreement to keep you safe. And so now he is not doing his due diligence. So what you do is you need to, if necessary, leave, go, leave the situation, and make sure that you are safe. Your life is worth being safe, and you don't necessarily have to get married. You might want to get married. You might want to go back, but in the interim, what you might want to do is to get some counseling. That get a good counselor. Do some individual stuff, and he might want to do some individual stuff to work on what it is about him that's making him behave that way. And then eventually you may want to come back and do some couples counseling. But in the long run, I'm going to end this by saying, listen, it is not a sin that I know of. I've never seen it, in the Bible, that it's a sin. Some people may think it is because that's their preference or their understanding, or they're trying to share their belief of what their church or the church is saying. But if it's not in the Bible, I don't have a problem with you leaving, ma'am. You go right ahead and leave and take care of yourself and those who are dependent on you. So that's my response to that. And I'm hoping that this response was good for you and that you have a good understanding, and that safety first in an abusive situation. Okay. So thank you much, Miss Tiffany. Thank you so much. Okay. We have another question. Says, I missed the webinar about the 5 tips to spark your relationship yesterday. Yeah, I did this webinar yesterday on the 5 tips to spark your relationship. And it was good. We had some folks on there. We had questions being asked and directly, and I was poised to answer, and I answered the question. Unfortunately, it was not recorded, but I am going to do that webinar again. And there are some other webinars that I will be doing, related to relationship. So if you missed the webinar, just stay tuned, and I will, or my team will, let you know when we're going to have this again. So please, just stay in tune, and you will get all the information that you need. I'm tempted to give you one, but I'm not going to do that. Not going to do that. So just stay in touch with us, and my team at drkidspeaks.com will make sure that you get the information that you need. Okay. Look like we might be having some technical difficulty. Do you think money or time is more important to a family? I need time to make money, and I need to make money to get my time back. Oh man, so I was stuck trying to find a balance. Do you think money is more important to the family? Well, but time is important, so we know that. Money is important. Okay. You can't spend time because time is not something that we have, and we can't manage time. Time manages us. And so it is important that we make a distinction between time and making money. Now, money don't make time. We understand that, but we know that we do need time to make money. Now, if we're saying, well, listen, the time I take to make money is just for making money, then systemically, the money is something that you use to benefit the entire family. Now, you may not be, depending on how you work these days, a lot of people working from home, it may not be, or you may not be available to other people in your sphere of influence while you're busy, making money so that you can use the money to enhance their lives and their enjoyment. Now I understand that. I really do understand that. So you need a really good balance. And I can't tell you what the balance is, um, because uh, I don't know your situation. You're the only one who knows that. And so here you are trying to create this balance. And the balance now is when you calculate all of the cost to taking the time to make money, which is important to your family, the well-being and the viability of your family. When you calculate that, as opposed to, well, what if I don't take the time to make the money? Well, then I'm not going to have the money so that I can, be better positioned to help my family, enjoy life. It might be whatever it is, whatever it is you want to spend your money on. And I can't tell you that. But what I'm saying here is that it's not either or. It's how well do you manage your time to make money, and how much money do you need, which will dictate how much time you put into making money. And when you do that, the time you put into making money, I'm pretty sure that unless everybody in the family is making money, like, is working, like you're at a pizza place or something like that, or you own a family business, then everybody's out there making money and everybody's having fun. So if you do that, it's quite possible for you to achieve both goals, without much sweat, as they used to say. Don't sweat the small stuff. Well, it's not a small stuff. It is a stuff. Okay. So, so just go ahead and do that. And again, you're the one who knows what you need. I'm stuck trying to find a balance. Unstuck yourself, and create a balance. You're the only one who knows what the balance. Okay, here we go. Well, here we go. I'm sorry for the disruption. We were having some technical difficulties. We had a storm that passed through here not too long ago, and it was some hard rain, and it did impact our internet and our Wi-Fi. So I think they're probably still trying to deal with that. So we're sorry for whatever disturbance we might have had. All right. So let's answer this next question. For those, since we had disturbance, if you're just coming on, or if you're wondering what happened, that is what happened. Okay, and so this evening I'm taking my carving out some time to answer some questions. All right, and I did answer a couple priors if you were on, so I'm hoping that the responses to those were good. This one says, my wife is not willing to explore different sexual positions. Is there a good way to approach this topic without it leading to a fight? Oh, woo, I feel like desires left unmet will continue to have my imagination running wild. Now, I tell you this is a question of questions. This is not, or there is not, an easy response to this question that I can think about to give you. It says, my wife is not willing to explore different sexual positions. Bam, let's stay right there for a moment. So the question here is this. You're not saying that your wife don't want to have sex. She just doesn't want to explore different positions. What do you know about your wife? Is she having physical difficulties? She might be uncomfortable in certain positions, sexual positions that she might not have told you, or she might have told you and you may not have taken it very seriously to think about that, because you don't want to be having sex and it is not enjoyable because of the discomfort of the position. So I think, if your wife is not willing, well, talk to her about that, not just about the position, the sexual position that may give you a certain degree of a preferential satisfaction, but talk to her about who she is and what is it about her that's making her not willing to explore certain sexual position. Is this a physical thing for her? Is it an emotional thing for her? Is it spiritual, religious? I don't know. There are a lot of reasons why some women may not be willing to explore different positions. But I think when you're having sex, it shouldn't not be just like sex. For me, when I think about this, it is the sharing of the self with each other through the act of sex. Now, if the sharing and you are here to enjoy yourselves, then make sure that you're not compromising, but that you are willing to come to a position in your head and say, listen, I want both of us to be sexually satisfied, and regardless of the position. So yeah, we can explore some different options, some different positions. But when it comes down to a person having a difficulty not with particular position, or having some beliefs about particular positions, then I think that's something that you need to talk about and explore so that both parties can enjoy this. It says, is there a good way to approach the topic without leading to a fight? Well, I think I kind of broached that a little bit. If you if you think about her, the person, who is this person? She is more than a sex partner. There is more to the who of her. I think in sex, when you think about the person as opposed to the behavior, I think you will have a clearer identity of what it is about her that did not want to go into certain position, and you will have a better understanding of what it is about you that want to explore a variety of positions. So is there a good approach to this, to way to lead it without leading to a fight? Yeah, just sit down and talk, not about sex, but who she is when she's wanting to have sex. So she becomes more important to you than the having or headed to or trying to get or leading towards sexual satisfaction. Because indeed, she's more than a sex machine. She is a person that you're married to. They say, I feel like desires left unmet will continue to have my imagination running wild. I'm going to tell you right up front and straight off, you are a free moral agent, and that is your responsibility. Just because your wife is having difficulty or does not want to explore different sexual positions, okay, it does not mean that your desire has to run wild. That is a self-control issue we're talking about right there, right now. You are, if you're doing that, then you need to ask yourself. It's this question I ask this all the time: what is about me that is allowing myself to let my, it said, I feel like the desires unmet. Well, if you're having sex, your desire for sex is not being unmet. I feel like desires left unmet. That's not it. You just want to have it in different positions. You're still having sex. And so I can understand, you can say your imagination will be running wild when you're saying, well, look, I wonder what it would be like for me to have sex in this, that, or the other positions. Okay. So your imagination is running wild. And one of the things I like about this question is you're not saying here that just because your imagination is running wild that you're going to go out and have sex with somebody else. It might I'm taking this to mean that, listen, man, I'm just thinking how I would feel, how different it would feel, how pleasing it would feel to me if I could experience it in this way, that way, or some other ways. So the act of sex does not become mundane if it's the same position all the time. So it's a good question, and like I said, the one thing I like about this question that I like everything about it, but I'm just going to say this again. I like the idea that even though you said that unmet desires unmet will continue to have my imagination running wild. Just control yourself, control your imagination, and enjoy your wife, even though she may not like some of the positions that you would like her to contort herself into. Okay? So see her, take care of her, make sure that while you're enjoying yourself, she's also enjoying herself, no matter the position that you and her are in, or that you would like, or that she is not willing to explore. All right. Just remember now, the act of sex is not something that you're doing, it is you sharing uh, a part of yourself with the other person who lives outside of you. And if you love each other, you will come to a common ground about how to enjoy yourself in, through the medium of this all-consuming, bodily experience. It is so all-consuming, you know. So both of you should be enjoying that to its fullest, and not one enjoying it more than the other because of unmet sexual positions. All right. So that's what you do. That's my answer to that. Stay with her, keep her, help her, support her, understand her, talk to her, validate her, all of these things. When you do that, she will feel like a good person, like a valuable person, and might even be willing at some point to try some other positions if body and mind and soul are willing to let her do that. All right. So that's where we are for tonight. I think we were just going to answer just just 3 questions tonight. And again, I want to say, listen, I'm sorry for the disruption that we had a little earlier on. There was like I said, there was a pretty rough storm that passed through, lightning and thunder, and very heavy rain and high wind. It passed through here, and there's some disruptions, and I'm not sure to what degree the technicians have been able to correct this. All right. So again, I thank you for being here online with me tonight. Now, remember now, I had promised you that we were going to have something explosive for you. And that is on September 24th. On September 24th, we're having the rest stop. Refueling your relationship rest stop. Listen, everything that I do is all about refueling. You refuel your car when you need gas. You refuel yourself with food when when you're feeling empty. You refuel yourself when you want it with a nice shower, when you're feeling like you're not so clean as you want to be. You're always in the business of refueling. So this is what we're doing. And of course, you got to pull off major highways to refuel. And so we're pulling off the highway of life, and we're going to pull into Atlanta with the rest stop so we can refuel our relationship. Okay. And so the team will give you greater details. But for now, we have special rates until July 31st of this year, because this is going down on September 24th. So couples, you look, we're talking about from 8 until 4:30. 8 until 4:30. $299. Now, you're not going to get a whole day's worth of seminar, quality seminar, good information for $299. That just don't come like that. So we just want you to come, because we know sometimes, money gets tight and funny sometimes, but so we don't want to kind of factor you out. So please, just go ahead now. And while the special rate is on, it's $299 for couples, and singles $165. There you go, $165. It looks like it's $185, but it's not. Get close to it, and you will discover that it is $165 for single people. And it's good until July 31st. Okay, so do that. Okay, so go ahead and like it in the chat, and when you like it in the chat, then the team will get you will take care of your needs so that you can be there. So you can be there on that day. All right. So refueling your relationship. And again, listen, every Monday at 6. And by the way, I might not be here next week because I'll be traveling. I will be presenting. My wife and I will be presenting at a conference in Trinidad, in the Caribbean. So we'll be down there in Trinidad, and we're not sure of how that's going to work. So we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see how that's going to work when we get down there and get some information on the time factor, at what time we'll be presenting, and so on and so forth. Okay. So if I can, I will do it, but I will let you know in plenty of time. We'll put it out there in plenty of time so that your expectations can be met, or you can, just kind of just hang out and do something else, or whatever, however the team decide that we want to do this. Okay. So we'll be down there. Last week, we were up in Calgary, Alberta, where we spent, about 8 days up there, just doing some things up there again, just meeting some people, talking about some things, talking about relationships. And then, and that was really, really good. And like I said, next week, Trinidad. And then after that, we'll be right here at home turf in Atlanta. I want to see you there. Okay. We got plenty of good information for you. It's going to be interactive. It's not going to be just sitting down, just doing nothing. It will be interactive. You will have an opportunity to ask questions. I will have an opportunity to answer your question. You will have an opportunity to work with and explore some things with your significant other right there in the midst of all these people that's going to be there. Okay, so come on in, come on out on the 24th. It's going to be dynamic, and you will learn a lot about yourself. You will learn a lot about your significant other, and you will learn a lot about the us in both of y'all. Okay, so come on out, September 24th. Special rates is good until July 31st. Couples $299, singles $165. All right. So until then, be good, and we'll see you in Atlanta. Have a good night.